Hello, 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 everyone. Good evening. Good evening. How's everybody doing this evening? Brat, you are number one again, girl. God bless. There you go. There you go. Good to see you, PG. Hey, good to see you too, girlfriend. You know it. Hey, Miss Justice, how you doing? Much love, PG. Much love to you. Absolutely. And oh wow, PG's little girl, number three. Number three. God bless. Hey girl. All right, Brat, Miss Justice, and PG's little girl, one, two, and three. Let's see who is number four. Oh, oh, that's so sweet. SUMM. What happened to the E? PG's little girl, you forgot the E. It's SUMMER. There's just an R. But it's still good, girl. Still good. God bless. God bless. Amen. There we go. There we go. She spelled it out. Now, hey, welcome everyone. I appreciate that, Brat. God bless. Amen. Absolutely. Absolutely. God bless. I'm trying. Okay, Australia. Australia is number four. All right, girl. I think. I think. Let me go back here. Yeah, Brat. It's Brat, Miss Justice, PG's little girl, and Australia. I was hoping I did not miss somebody. I'm hoping I did not miss somebody in between all of that. All right, there you go, girl. You number four. Amen. God bless. Good to see you guys. Hey, Minnie Pearl. Good to see you in here tonight. Good to see you, girl. And let me see who else we got. One down through here. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. It helps. It helps. It helps keep these missing children out here. It helps keep them in the spotlight so that they don't get lost and faded back to the dark. That's what the suspects want to do. They want to come out, and because they still have their voice, they want to come out and talk and try to fade the victim into the background. We can't allow that. So absolutely, make sure you subscribe up and hit that like button. Keep these channels out here going, and not just here. Not just here. Do it on all the channels. Doing righteous for these missing kids. Do it on all the channels. We need this community. We need this community to keep rocking and rolling for these missing kids. It helps keep law enforcement, it doesn't matter what state it is. It helps to keep law enforcement interested. It helps to keep the news people interested. You would not believe how much pull, they say, oh, YouTubers. I'm going to tell you, YouTubers is what keeps all these people on their toes. Trust and believe that. Hey, Jean, how you doing, Angel Girl? Good to see you guys. We're going to do it again. SUMME. All right, R. There we go. There we go. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Summer Moon, we love you. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Hey, Suzanne, how you doing? Pauline, good to see you guys. Amanda, Angel Girl. Hey, Deborah, good to see you in here tonight. God bless. Hey, Blue Bonnet, Lisa. Hey, Journey, good to see you. Oh, that is beautiful. Our bucket list has holes. Beautiful. Absolutely. Mara, good to see you. Stephanie. Robin. It's good to see you. Our bucket list has holes in here too. Don't think I passed her up because I didn't. I seen her. I was like, amen. Hey, Donna, good to see you. Every night as we go out and everyone is sending the support up for the missing children. Um, our bucket list has holes. She always really sends up the support for the missing children. I have took note like night after night after night how much she really, it's like the 4th of July at the end of, not like a live here, like it's every night. She is sending it up for these kids, and I so appreciate it. And I have took note for a long time of her doing that. And I thought how amazing it is, for Summer to have someone and all of these other missing kids as well that cares like that, like that. She really, really sends up the support at the end of the night. And I am so grateful. And she's a great mod, beautiful mod. Hey, blessings to all from Tulsa, Arizona. Hey, girl, good to see you in here, Peanut Shell. God bless. God bless. You're sitting right now where I would probably like to be. Hey, Carrie, how you doing? Hey, beautiful PG Mods chat. Good to see you all. Much love. Yeah, she is. She's got one great army. She's got a beautiful army. Absolutely amazing army. That truly care about her. I mean, they have really went the extra miles, for this little girl. And I think they're going to go the duration to get justice and Summer found and brought home and things done the way it's supposed to be done. I think they're going to, go the whole duration in this. And Summer is one lucky little girl to have so many voices gathering as one on her behalf. She's so lucky to have so many people who truly love her and congregate for her night after night after night, wanting her to be found. If we could just get law enforcement to congregate like that, right? And some of these suspects to congregate and start telling the truth, I think she could be found, brought home, and justice served, right? But I'm telling you, we serve a powerful God. He can congregate whoever he wants to, and I'm sure when he wants to, he will. Pandu can, well, I don't think I have to tell you guys what he could do, but He can stream all he wants to. He can stream all he wants to, because anybody that wants to um, stream PG, it is more than welcome. Stream me, please do, because the people out there are going to, see Summer. They're going to hear about Summer. They're going to learn a lot about Summer's case. And, if it gets in the right hands and the right ears, her case could be solved. She could be brought home and justice could be served. So, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop, anyone from getting Summer out there even farther, than she is here. And that's a blessing. That's a blessing. One thing I've learned about evil, there's always good. Nothing but good comes out of evilness. Nothing but good. Right? I mean, it might be that one string that he does that, gets the ball rolling in the right direction and gets Summer brought home and justice served upon these evil beings. And so, please stream. All right, stream it. Go ahead. I have no problem with that. Right? I mean, and Can's got time to be somewhere else on another creator's channel talking about PG, right? But she ain't got time to be talking about her missing daughter, Summer Moon Utah Wells, right? What the hell's wrong with her? What the hell's wrong with her? Why don't she talk about Summer? Why don't she talk about June 15th, 2021, when she came off that hill the second time and went chasing Chad Arnold out of Ben Hill Road onto Beach Creek? Why don't she talk about that? Why doesn't she talk about what went down at the swimming hole? Why she turned the camera off when Hunter entered the water the way he did? Why don't she talk about, why Hunter's trying to be dry when we know he was wet, just like Summer in the back seat, right? Tell her where in the hell's the black tote she's talking about, because those brown boxes that's next to Summer with the milk. Why don't she talk about some of this? Why doesn't Candace talk about these things instead of PG, right? I'm going to tell you, the person ain't going to be missed is an evil bitch like her, right? Is an evil bitch like her. Yeah, I will repeat it twice, because she is an evil bitch. I mean, her and Dom Wells, she abused 2 children up in freaking Wisconsin. She abused another one, right? Well, she was carrying it with illegal substances over in Arkansas, according to her bestest friend, Lisa J. We know she abused the hell out of 4 more over in Tennessee with all the witnesses that came forth. Let's see, Fred and Laura, Jody Sue and Andy, even the Light brothers. Matter of fact, anyone and everyone that was around there, talks about how bad of parents they were, right? Okay. So, what has she ever done good? What has she ever done good? I can't think of a damn thing she's ever done good. All she cares about, she's selfish, self-centered, and self-seeking, only worries about herself. Her little girl was screaming in a 911 call because Daddy was coming at her. Right? Daddy was coming at her in the wrong way, or she wouldn't have been screaming like that. And Mommy didn't care. Mommy dropped the charges for a new vehicle, right? Mommy took a bribe, and Daddy kept on showering with the little girl that Jose demanded be taken out of that shower because of whatever was going on that he didn't like. And it must have been something awful, or he wouldn't have been demanding. He said, I will get her tail myself and take her out if you don't, Candace. And they send him away. Candace drops the charges, gets herself a new vehicle, and allows Donald to proceed in doing what the 911 call was all about, right? And that bitch wants to run her mouth on someone else. She got me bent, right? Oh, hell to the no. Don't even go there. Don't go there. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a single mom. I'm a single mom raising my kids. And I'm going to tell you what, my ass gets up every day. I get up every day and I work. I work every single day. I clean my house. I take care of my kids. I don't sit around and let no likes of Don Wells use and abuse my babies up. Right? I don't need some man to be paying my bills. I pay my own damn bills. Right? I'm a good mom. I am a matter of fact, I'm an excellent mother. One of the damn best. You bet your ass on that one. I tell you that right now. Women like me wouldn't let Don Wells smell where they took a piss, right? We got more brains than that. We don't drag in leftovers, right? So I don't want to hear Candace. That woman right there, man, she sold her kids out. She sold little Summer out for that red vehicle, which is no longer running, to my understandings. Done got ran into the ground, right? And according to Don, Candace, and everybody else up there, all them suspects, Summer's in the ground too. Summer's in the ground as well, right? And a lot of people, are saying, where's grandma? Where's grandma? Is grandma no longer with us? Yeah, grandma is with us. She sure is with us. She looks older. She lost a lot of weight there. And she looks a hell of a lot older. But she's still with us. Yes, she is. Still with us, still hiding. Why is Grandus always hiding? What has she got to hide from? Right there shows a mission of guilt. It's a mission of guilt when you're hiding the way you do, right? It's a mission of guilt when you come out here and you want to talk about everybody else but your daughter who's missing, right? Candace wants to come back out and show her face. I don't know how she shows her face out here in public. She knows what she did. That's my opinion. She knows exactly what she did to her daughter. She knows how she turned on her own little girl for old Donnie Wells, right? To let Donnie Wells use and abuse this child. And Candace was right there. To my understandings, from what Jody Sue says, Candace was right there using and abusing them kids too. I heard it actually from what Jody Sue said. Candace was the one buying stuff off of Andy Bernard in order to sedate those little girls, including Summer, so they could be touched. That was Candace. I didn't hear Dom was doing it. I heard Candace was. I heard Candace was meeting up at a storage unit with people that seemed to have an overload of humans in the back of a freaking Penske truck. I heard Candace was the one down on Ben Hill. I'm running around to the neighbors talking about little kids being in the back of a van, and if they wanted to, they could come down and purchase one real quick. I heard all that about Candace, right? And she has the audacity to drag herself out here, her sloth self out here, and talk about somebody And what's wrong with Day Day? What's wrong with Day Day? Why ain't Day Day asking her about Summer? Why ain't Day Day asking her about her daughter, about the black tote, about all the things that's being said? Why ain't Day Day asking her some questions about June 15th, 2021? I'll tell you why, because she's afraid to. She's afraid to. She's too busy with her lips puckered up to freaking, ask the hard questions. She's too worried about losing herself a friend. Who wants a friend like that? Who wants a friend that uses and abuses children? Who wants that? And that's my opinion. They use and abuse children. How can you be friends with someone that did so bad in Wisconsin and did so bad over in Arkansas and really did horrible in Tennessee? How can you be friends with that? How can you support that? How evil are you to be supporting that type of evilness? That's my question. I'm going to tell you something. Day Day ain't got no backside. She ain't got no back. She ain't got no freaking spine. It's all jelly. It's all jelly if you ask me. That's my opinion. I'm going to keep it. These people turn my stomach. They turn my stomach. They don't stand up for righteousness. For some reason, they think they're going to get into a pearly gate. They ain't getting into nothing. They ain't getting into nothing because they don't know how to stand strong for the truth. They don't know how to stand strong and get the truth. These people don't want the truth. They're just sorry. They're just sorry. Sorry freaking human beings, a waste of skin and bone, if you ask me. That's my opinion too. I'm going to keep it. Right? They want to sit, oh, you got to forgive. You got to forgive. Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you something. I do forgive them, but I want to see justice served on them too. I want to know where Summer's at. I want Summer brought home. I want the law to do its job. That's what I want. I want my taxpayer dollars put to the test. Right? But since it got us on the subject of grandma, old Grandus, right? Since it got us on the subject of her, I decided, you know what? I'm going to bring some information. I'm going to bring some information out here tonight. So let's get started.
Summer went swimming that day at the horse stables, I believe it was.
At the horse stables, I believe it was. You were supposed to be sitting in the damn car. You were supposed to be sitting in the vehicle, and you've been to the horse stables many times with Allison and Candace and all of them, rolling the boats and hanging out. You've been to all of those places. You've been living in Tennessee, Granny, for freaking years and years now. You came up there right after Dawn's mother passed away, or right before. You probably was there before she even passed away, but you definitely right after the woman met her maker, you showed up. And you've been there ever since. You've been up there more than you've been anywhere. And you know all of that territory like the back of your hand, because that's all you and Candace do is run around looking for one dark hole or another to go hide in with these kids and other people that you can lay on or hug up or put your hands upon in disgusting ways, is what it seems. That's my opinion too. I'm going to keep it just gross.
And then we come back and I went in my camper, and after we brought my groceries in for me, and the boys helped with that. And
this is the back door. This is supposed to be the basement door, the back, what they call the back door. It actually is the front of the house, but they're going to call it the back. So, okay, that's what they want to do. Because I know for a fact that Don Wells calls the um, kitchen door, which was the back door, until they covered it over and put in the new door back there. That was the back. He called, the basement door, the basement door. They didn't even have a front door. They didn't call any door a front door. They called that the basement door and the other one, the back door. But okay, if they want to say, if they want to try to change it up now, we can do that. We can do that. But still, right there is a mother freaking door to her camper where her ass was sitting on June 15th, 2021, when Summer supposedly went back in that house, which is bullshit if you ask me, because I don't think she ever got off the milk jugs, to be perfectly honest with you, until they put her in the black tote that they stuck back up in there. And Candace went down to Fred's place to meet up with Chad Arnold and drive over, in my opinion, to Morrison Cemetery and do what they did before they even contact law enforcement. And they thought they got away with it because it was the perfect crime. But I don't think they're getting away with it now. Right. I don't think they're getting away with it. And I think that's why Candace has got her ass back out here, because she's all, all nervous and thinking that she's going to have more supporters once they go there and start looking into that graveyard and possibly find Summer. And I don't think anybody's going to be supporting her if they pull Summer up out of that grave. If they actually pull Summer up out of that gravesite, I don't think the Wells are going to be supported ever again. By no one, not even Tim Mullins, to be honest with you. And I think at that particular time, Andrew's boy is going to be going to prison, because Candace ain't going to go down without telling on Hunter for actually committing the crime, because that'll keep her from getting, that'll keep her from getting the bulk of the sentence. He'll get it instead, right? Because he's the one that did the dirty deed. It doesn't matter what someone tells you to do. If you do it, then that's on you. Basically, in the eyes of the law, they don't see ignorance in the eyes of the law. So with that being said, Hunter's going up for probably life or worse. And Candace is, Candace probably going to get a slap on the wrist for telling everything. And maybe, probably not even like the rest of them people around there, right? Not even a year or whatever, get out. While Hunter's, sitting there forever and a day. And knowing Candace, she's going to be like, oh, he went out there and I don't know what happened. He just like lost his temper or something. And I was trying to get out there to it, but he already did what he did. And, I couldn't stop him, and I was worried, and be honest, I was kind of afraid to tell. And, she's going to put it all back on him. And that family, and how bad his family is, and how scared up she was. And she's going to let him take the whole fall when this all comes to light, right? And Andrew, well, he'll be, over there running off, right? He'll be looking like this shit right here, running off his mouth like he always does, right? Talking about, She really turned on my boy. She turned on my boy. That was BS. She turned on my boy. Everybody knows it was her. Everybody knows it was her and Dawn. And, then this whole story is going to change, and nobody's going to want to hear it. Right? Nobody's going to want to hear it, because that's what he does. That's what he does. Always talking through his teeth, right? Always talking through his teeth. And he has to, because, look at him. You can roll a bowling ball through there. If one for PG, he have no content. That's true. That's true. And look at him. That dude's just a sad case. Yeah. I took this picture of him yesterday. I seen him yesterday. I saw him yesterday in New York City. I seen him yesterday, snapped this picture of him, because he was, he's out in public. I said, hey, that's Andrew. Snap this picture of him. Yeah. I wanted to show it to you guys. I wanted to show you guys what he really looked like, right? What he looks like now. There it is, right there. What can I say? What can I say? Sad.
And of course, summer. And I laid down and went to sleep, and I got up and I was sitting in my doorway, and we come out, and Candace asked me what I was doing. I said, well, we got to transplant these little cactuses into bigger pots. And then we brought the groceries in and put them down. And then Mom, she went and took her stuff to her house and put her stuff away.
See that? Mom went and took her own stuff. Mom took her own crap into Mom's camper. The boys didn't help Mom. The boys were was helping themselves because they were hungry and they wanted to grab that stuff. They wanted to get it back into the house. They came running out there. They seen their sister in the vehicle. They was grabbing everything. They figured their sister was going to get out, and be running around like she always does, right? Like she always does up there. And they wasn't thinking about her. They was thinking about getting that food in the house and getting as much of it as they could because they hadn't ate probably for 2 or 3 days. They probably hadn't had nothing more than a freaking dollar store pizza and some water over the last 3 days. They were starving. They were hungry, and they wanted something to eat. And they was in there, raiding those bags and trying to get what they could. And, and playing that, and went back to playing their game machine. And they had no idea if their sister was anywhere in the house or outside or where she went after they went out and grabbed all the stuff from the vehicle to take in the house and raid so they could get some nourishment that they hadn't had in a long time. That's what they were busy doing. They wasn't thinking about summer. They were thinking about their stomachs. And Candace and Grandus knew that. That's why they stopped by that store. They stopped by that store, so that those kids, they knew exactly what would go down when they got back home with some food. And Grandma and Candace, Candace came back over to the trailer, hanging around Granny, talking about, what they was going to be doing. I believe they put Summer in a black tote because Candace slipped up and talked about it. I believe they put her in that black tote, put it in that seat where the brown boxes was. And that Candace went off the hill, went down, met up with Chad Arnold, and followed him out. And in my opinion, over to Morrison Cemetery. That's my opinion. Just saying. Right? It is what it is. And and I always know when I'm touching home base, right? I always know when I'm touching home base because you got these people grouping up. You got Andrews coming out, really invested in it. You got Andy's and Jody Sue's, all, chasing their tails as well, right? They're chasing their tails out here as well. And it pulls all of these, all of these mother freaking bugs out of the woodwork, right? It pulls them out of the woodwork. They're all out crawling around. And, and I know when I'm hitting home base because Don Wells, has white boy. He has white boy, over here in the back, like just, last night he's in the back, writing stuff, private chat. He's, and just now he was in the back, he's back there. And, just popping up backstage. And, that's how I know. Because, the one thing I learned early on is Don and Candace likes to get people like white boys and day-days and all of these, sick, evil, twisted humans that don't care about a little 5-year-old girl, innocent child, being done so sinister and is missing. They don't have no heart. They have no heart. They have no conscience. They have nothing. I mean, that's just who and what they are. They're actually, where white boys concerned, actually where they're all concerned, that, aiding and abetting the Wells the way they do. I think they're just as evil, just as heartless and just as evil. You have to be as heartless and as evil to support that. That's my opinion. I'm going to keep it. And, white boy's Don's little beat. And Don gets great satisfaction out of running him like one too, right? Don knows how. Don Wells knows how to try to get people to go and do their freaking evilness. I mean, did you see Hunter going into the water? Did you see Chad Arnold meeting Candace up down at Fred's place? Do you see what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to tell you something. Andrew, has a dog in a race. And it's not just his son, Hunter. You think he cares about Hunter? He ain't ever gave a crap about Hunter. If someone cares about their child, they're going to support their child. And it's something he did not want to do and didn't do. Right? He didn't, he just wanted to keep up with Allison's life. And, he wanted to keep up with Allison's life because his own life was so boring. His own life was so boring. He just wanted to keep up, with somebody else's that wasn't. And he didn't show up out here. Before his son, he showed up out here for a profit. That's what he showed up out here for self-gain, Exactly. That's all he sees. He sees dollar signs and that's, and, enough to get a pack of cigarettes is a lot of money to him, right? If that dude could just go to the corner store and get a pack of smokes, that's a lot of money to him. Just saying. And, he don't want to pay for everything it takes to do, and he ain't out here for, he isn't out here for missing children anyway. He's out here to try to protect his son that, gave Candace the, the freaking evil look, like, what the hell are you doing, for one, filming me right now? And then he tried to play it off. And then he went into the water and the camera goes off. And the next thing we know, Summer's on some milk jugs. Right? On some milk jugs. All dressed up in her brand new school outfit. Looking like, she's no longer in this world. And I don't believe she was. And Candace was off to the second half of the bullshit. The gaslighting. Taking a little video close to home so they could, pitch the bullshit narrative of abduction, which there was none. There was no, absolutely no. evidence, any way, form, or how, of an abduction. None. No skid marks on the side of the hill, no broken branches, no, no skin, no skin or DNA that someone would have trying to get down that hill with a screaming 5-year-old, kicking, screaming, biting kid, 40-pound child. That just wasn't going to happen. All right. Hey, Carrie, I appreciate that super sticker, girlfriend. Absolutely. Look at that, Andrew. I know you jelly. I know you jelly, man, because that's who you are. That's how you are. And be jelly. Be jelly, because, I'm not supposed to get no satisfaction out of your jealousness, but I'm going to. I'm going to this one time. I'm going to. Absolutely. Hey, girl, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Even more so making him pissed off. Right? Hey, you working for summer tonight. You working for summer tonight. Oh, I'm going to tell you, I got somebody telling, I'm talking with someone right now. I'm about to bring out some good stuff. Trust me, I'm going to be bringing out some really good stuff. I don't come in on Friday. Day over day days discussing if I'm a Catholic. Right? No, I don't bow down to statues. I'm sorry. No, I ain't no Catholic, that's for sure. And, and they ain't too educated. They ain't too educated because Friday to Saturday is the Sabbath. It's the Sabbath. I guess they don't really know who observes the Sabbath. Right? So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Hey, I so appreciate it. Whoa. All right. Hold on, I got back up. Hey, Brad, I appreciate that, girl. Summer's Army. Absolutely. Woo, look at that, Andrew. Look at that. Oh boy, are you counting? You counting? Because that's number 2. If we get past 4 or 5, I'll count for you. I'll count for you because I know you can't count that high, man. I know you won't be able to count that high, so I'll count for you. Oh, there's number 3, super sticker. All right. Australia, God bless, girl. I appreciate it. That's number 3, Andrew. That's number 3. God bless. God bless. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they like to threaten up I'm that bitch mama bear. Absolutely. You know it, girlfriend. Yes, they do. You don't even know. You don't even know. I mean, I was getting everything. I was getting everything from threats behind, behind the scenes. I mean, like in private chat, I was getting threatened up. On Facebook, I was getting threatened up every way you and through emails, I was getting threatened up. Matter of fact, just the other night, I was really getting threatened up, and I posted that out on my Facebook. But and the phone, man, they was even threatening me up through music, like they was playing me. They was playing actually, like calling me up and playing songs, like these songs to me. I'm like, what the freak? Right? I was like, whoa, it might have shook me a little bit. I might have got shook, but I didn't get shook because damn, those are the CDs I carry around in my vehicle, right? That's what I'd be banging to when I go out with my girlfriends. Right? I'm like, shoot, that's my song, man. Yeah. I'd be singing along with it. I was singing along with it. You know, I was like, heck yeah. Um, hey, Brat, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Number four for coffee. Love you. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. All right. How'd you know I was out of coffee? Wow. I got to think about that. That might keep me awake tonight. I appreciate it. God bless. Number five. Hey, Andrew, I might have to start counting for you now. I might have to start counting for you now because we done hit five, and I think that's your limit right there, as high as you can count. So I'll let you know when 6, 7, and 8 comes through. Um, Thank you for staying strong for Summer Moon. Hey, girl, our bucket list has holes. Hey, I appreciate you guys staying strong. God bless. Much love. Oh, Rosemary Bly. Man, that's sick right there. That is really sick to come up under a missing mother's name. And that's like super evil. That's like super evil. You don't get no more evil than this. I got somebody in the back chat under Rosemary Bly. That's unacceptable right there. That is unacceptable. Wow. And it says in the back chat, I am here from the you know what prayer garden. Wow. That's about as low as you can go. I'm sure that's white boy, because last night he accidentally forgot to change his name, and it popped up, right? He forgot to change it to something else, and it popped up in the back. So it's him. And man, that's pretty skanky. That's pretty skanky right there. Hey, Georgia Wildtown, number six, super sticker. Oh, it's number seven. All right, another super sticker. Oh boy, Andrew. I know that you sitting over there. You just sitting over there right now. I promise you, sitting over there right now, looking just like this. You over there like, ain't you? Yeah. Ooh, boy, you really looking like that now. Another super safe sad eyes. God bless, girl. I so appreciate it. I so appreciate it. Number eight, Andrew. Number eight. There we go. There we go. Whoop, whoop. Number eight. Whoop, whoop. Number eight. I appreciate it, girl. God bless. Super sticker. Amen. I appreciate it. Yeah, try that on for size, Andrew. Try that on for size. Yeah. All I got to say, it's a good thing one of us can count, right? Yeah, I can make him cry. Yeah, he's like, woo, hoo, woo. He gonna be over there boo-hoo and wildly, woo, woo. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, thank you for the support. God bless. Yeah, it is, Amanda. Absolutely. That is like the low of the low right there. I mean, this poor woman's missing. She's missing, you know. And Red Ranger, I have to see you. You have to open the camera. If I can't see you, I can't let you up on panel. You got to open cam. And then you can close it back. I won't bring you up on panel until your camera's closed again. I just need to see you. Well, Red Ranger ain't opening the camera. Can't let you up unless I see you. Sorry.
Okay.
And then, of course, me and Summer went back over, put our stuff away.
Okay. You went back in.
Yeah, me and Summer went back in the house. And then we were just doing normal stuff.
Okay.
Around the house like we normally do. And I come out, Mom was sitting there at the time. I come out and I'm standing here. I was like, what are you doing? What are you staring at? She's like, these plants, I gotta get them transplanted. I was like, well, Summer will help us. So I went back in. By that time, she was sitting on the floor playing with her toys.
Right here?
We know that there wasn't. We know for a fact there was, no flower planting. There was no washing hands. There was no getting no piece of candy. There was no, going into the house. There was none of that. Absolutely none of that.
No, in the kitchen where we were just at.
Okay.
She was actually sitting on the floor playing with the toys at that time. I said, Summer, you want to help plant flowers? And she jumped out. Left her toys a mess, of course. That's cool.
Yeah, well, that's what kids do. It's their job.
What?
Okay.
We walked over here and we transplanted these cactuses from the little pots that they were in. And transplanted these.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Where's the little pots? Where's the little pots? Because these people don't ever throw away nothing, right? They don't throw away anything. I mean, look at this place. All the shit's there, and everything I see is full. Everything, I don't see no little pots. Why wasn't Candace picking up the little pots? Saying these little pots right here they are, because they would have still been there. They would have still been there. But there's no little pots, right? There's no little pots because there was no flower planting that day. And who the hell calls out a little 5-year-old child to plant cactuses? Who tells a little child, hey, come out here and let's plant? Ain't that kind of like saying, come out here and let's walk on cactuses? I mean, a little kid can't, those when you're planting a cactus, oh my goodness, if you just barely touch a cactus, it puts one of those burrs in your finger, right? You get one of those things in your finger, and that thing freaking hurts. It hurts and hurts and hurts until you can get it to work itself out of there. And, and that's nobody has a child anywhere near a cactus. I would even let a cactus in my house or, upon my property when my children were little. And I still don't because, I know how painful them things can be if you accidentally, bump them or something, and that it sticks into your elbow or your hand or whatever. I don't allow those things anywhere near me or my children. I knew people that had a fetish for those things, and I'm not saying they're not cute. I'm just saying I don't like them, because I know what they can do to you, if you accidentally, be reaching for something and bump into it. It could be a nightmare for a few days. Well, it's working itself out of there. I think all of us know, it's bad enough. It's bad enough, right? That when you're running around in the yard or whatever, you end up, sometimes you might end up stung by a bee. And, cactus, actually, a bee sting, is, painful at first. And then it goes away, right? It goes away pretty quickly. The cactus thing, is one of those things that gets worse with time. It don't get better, right? I mean, it just gets worse. The pain increases. It doesn't decrease if you don't get that thing out, if you ain't able to work it out. It's like a freaking splinter. Yeah, they're sleeping in a camper, not planning, right? I don't think anybody. I mean, Grandus she just got a big shot in the knee, right? She just got a big shot in the knee. And I'm going to tell you that hurt. That mother freaking hurt. And I'm going to tell you right now, she didn't go in that camper and take no nap. You're not going to take a nap with that kind of pain. Absolutely not. I've seen people get those shots. And I'm going to tell you now, their adrenaline's got them wide awake and got them wide awake for a while. Yeah, absolutely, sad eyes. Absolutely. They need to stop lying and tell the truth. I agree with you. I absolutely, positively agree with you, sweetie. Absolutely.
Bigger pot and that one in that bigger pot. And she took the rocks that we've gotten from different gem mines when we went up.
Them are not gem mine rocks. That's mother freaking gravel like they got on the driveway. That's freaking gravel in there. These are gravel. Right? And I bet Chris was just like shaking his head. It looks like the driveway to me. Right?
The Gatlinburg and stuff.
Okay.
And she's the one that spreaded all the rocks around in here. And then she put her puppies in here. She wanted.
Right there's the difference. On one side is gem mine rocks. On the other side is mother freaking gravel. And what did you guys see? What did you see? Did you see number 1 or did you see number 2? I seen number 2. I seen mother freaking gravel in those plants. There was no gem mine, nothing in there. Hell to the no. Yeah, right? I'm going to tell you, no. Right, Chris?
When I got up that morning, she came out and took me into the ER because my leg was messing up on me.
I swear it sounded like she said feed him it. Right?
We were afraid something was wrong with my knee. I have a knee replacement. And she was worried that there was something wrong with it. And she took me into the hospital. And I ended up getting a shot for it.
Hey, CJ, asking prayers for my sibling who needs a transplant. If it is God's will, I have lost a sibling already this year. Hey, girl, God's will is your will. If it's something righteousness, if it's something that's righteousness, just know that His will is your will, and just keep praying. Keep praying, girlfriend, and we're going to be praying too. We're going to be praying too. God bless you. God bless. We definitely will be keeping your sibling and you in our prayers. You know it. And just know with God, everything's going to be okay. Know that it's all going to be okay. That's what you got to do. And it will. And it will.
To get rid of the pain. And they prescribed me medication to take to get the swelling down out of my knee and around my knee because it was inflamed. And then we waited around for my prescription. Summer went swimming that day. at the horse stables, I believe it was. And then we come back, and I went in my camper, and after we brought my groceries in for me, and the boys helped with that, and of course Summer. And I laid down and went to sleep, and I got up and I was sitting in my doorway, and we come out, and Candace asked me what I was doing. I said, well, we got to transplant these little cactuses into bigger pots. And we did that, and then Summer come in and had a piece of peppermint, which is her favorite, and then she went in. She said, Mama, I want to go play with the boys. Candy walked her back to the house, and she asked the boys to keep an eye on her, and that's the last time I seen her.
Tell me when you first...
Yeah, she's not exact where they were swimming at all. She should have knew. She should have knew. And then she makes Summer an afterthought, right? She makes Summer an afterthought. You know, she says, you know, and of course Summer. And the reason she had to say, and of course Summer, is because, you know, she left Summer out because Summer was in that tote.
realized that Summer was missing? What was going through your mind, and what was it like here?
To be blunt, it was hell. I mean, and I apologize, I'm blunt. As everybody knows, I have a missing daughter. She's been gone for 12 years.
Oh, goodness. Now she's trying to take the focus off of, you know, of the real topic, which is Summer Moon, Utah Wells. And she wants to put it on her daughter now. And she wants to put it on, you know, she wants to go put it on the YouTubers. It's the same shit with her, Candace, and Don Wells. All three of them want to talk about anything and everything but Summer. They don't want to talk about Summer.
And all I could say is, oh God, not again. And I couldn't do nothing but cry. And we yelled for her, and we yelled for her, and yelled for her. And we could not find her. Candy was in hysterics. And
Hey, she's not in the fucking corner. There she
yes, I
is.
am. I'm scratching my back. I'm in the corner.
There she is.
How you
Your
doing,
turn.
lovely?
I just want to thank everybody for helping my daughter. And thank everybody for the prayers for my granddaughter. And thank you so much, Benny.
You're welcome, lovely. You know I love you, right?
You got a special spot in my heart, bud.
And you got to.
Where's the tears? Where's the tears? Sounds to me like she's got a thing for Benny too, like she did Jose and every other and anything else that mother freaking moved up on that hill, right? She ain't no tears. Where's the tears, Grandma? Where's the tears? It sounds to me like you and your daughter's up there laughing and partying and having a damn good time. And your granddaughter's missing, right? Your granddaughter is missing. This is what they're really doing. This right here is what they're really doing. They don't care about, you know, Summer and Summer being missing. They don't care about that. These are some really evil. I mean, this is a woman that left her own kids, right? She walked out and left her own children behind. I mean, how could you expect anything more from her daughter, right? This woman right here, you know, her and Candace are the apple don't fall far from the tree, right? They're two peas in the same pot. Yeah, disgusting, right? She's up there scratching herself. She's up there scratching herself because that's what you got to do on 110 Ben Hill Road. You know, you got to scratch yourself. That's how disgusting it is. You're always itching.
We never did find her. She called 911 and she called Donnie, and we sent the boys down over.
Hey, Kim, how you doing, girlfriend? Good to see you. Good to see you in here. God bless. Much love.
The hill, and I stood in front of the, over by the edge there, and watched them, and was praying to God every minute that nobody would take them. And there was no sign of her.
Do you believe that someone took Summer, or do you believe that she wandered off? What do you believe happened?
I believe somebody took her. I know people say it doesn't happen, but it does happen. It happens in small towns. It happens in big towns. It happens in the country.
It happens in small towns. It happens in big towns. It happens in the country. No, not very, matter of fact, usually in the country, like you have people who go in and take out whole families, right? Not one person. They go in and take out whole families. So no, it really doesn't happen in the country like that. In small towns and big towns, when you live close to main roads or you're out shopping, or most people just don't come up missing from inside their house when there's 4 other people in there, and old grandma sitting at the camper door, right? When there's 3 big boys and mom inside the house, and big granny sitting out at the camper looking at everything with her big eyes and hearing everything with their big ears, and grinning at everything with her big teeth. No, it don't happen. It doesn't happen.
And I believe somebody took her.
Oh, of course you do. Of course you do, because you don't want to go to prison for telling the truth. So, of course, that's the scenario you guys wanted to set your sight on from day one, when you were, plotting and planning against this little girl up until the point she completely came up missing. Of course you do. That's the narrative you've been pushing the whole time, because you didn't want law enforcement on the property. You want them, to send them chasing a ghost that it wasn't out there. And as far as abduction was concerned, right? No, Granny, in my opinion, you know exactly what happened to your granddaughter at that swimming hole. Where was you? Was you at Allison's house in bed with her? Or was you really at the swimming hole in the vehicle? Where in the hell was you, to be honest? Where was you? Because, at this point, we really don't know now. We really don't know now.
Do you have an attorney yourself?
No, ma'am. He can call me anytime. He can pull up in this yard and knock on my door and ask me any questions he wants to ask.
Why does law enforcement need to come seek you when it's your granddaughter missing? If your granddaughter was truly missing, Miss Grandus, I think you would be looking for them. They wouldn't need to come looking for you, right? If you really truly had a missing child, you're going to be looking for law enforcement. They ain't going to be needing to look for you unless your ass is guilty. Unless your ass is guilty, then they're going to have to come look for you, because you're trying to dodge them. You're trying to dodge them because you're all paranoid and shit, and you think they're able to read your mind and see the guilt in your ass and know exactly what the fuck you did, and you're all paranoid and shit, and that's why you're trying to hide from them, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the truth. When you're guilty ass mother freaking person, that's exactly what your ass is doing. You're all fridging up like, oh, I know they know I'm guilty. Oh my gosh, I know they can read my mind. Oh my gosh, this and that. And you're all paranoid and shit, right? And they can't help but to be that way, because that's the, law enforcement, honey, they don't look at you. They look like they looking through you. They look like their ass is looking straight through you. They act like they know everything, a whole bunch of stuff about you when they don't even know nothing. And that intimidates the hell out of uneducated people like this right here that knows nothing, that knows really nothing about, how law enforcement works.
Trust me.
How often are you in contact with law enforcement, whether it be Hawkins County Sheriff's Office, TBI, even FBI?
They have not contacted me since the YouTubers were down here.
Hold on. I got Maddie. I got Maddie in the back somewhere. Oh, there she is. Hey, Maddie, how's it going, girlfriend?
Hello, good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
That's good. What have you been up to?
Not much. Not much. What you been up to?
That's good. Yeah, not much, eh?
You been
Just
up
had
to
a
being
shower and
good?
did my skincare.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that. You're absolutely beautiful. You're a beautiful, beautiful young lady.
Thank you.
You need to
I
you
had
need
to
to
wash
stay
my
that way,
toe.
girlfriend.
Had to wash my toe. It's all better now.
Right? I'm
Looks
glad to hear
gross.
that. Hey, you got a beautiful mama too. Your mama's
Yeah, I
beautiful.
do.
You take care of her. You hear me?
I definitely will.
Absolutely.
She makes me laugh all the time.
Yeah, she does. She does.
or I, s- or I start to laugh and then she'll start to laugh.
Yeah. I love your mama. And you
Yeah,
got a
she's
beautiful
lovely.
family. You got a beautiful family, girlfriend. Hang on to
I
that.
sure do, don't I?
Yes, you do.
Two
Absolutely.
beautiful cats too.
Oh yeah.
Very special. I bought Mum a nice cream for her birthday. Nice
Oh, did you?
body butter, body lotion, hand cream,
Oh wow.
Kylie Cosmetics moisturizer, another body lotion, vanilla.
Wow. Sounds like you were after her heart, girl. You know how
Yeah,
you know how mamas love to get that stuff,
yeah, I know.
right?
Good branded stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There's one that's like it's meant to smell like a smoothie.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's like a smoothie brand, and
Right?
it smells so good.
Oh,
So I got the matching body butter to that for her, and then we had curry chicken
right?
yesterday.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was delicious.
I bet. I bet.
Him- Himalayan.
And that's what I made. I made roasted chickens for dinner tonight.
Oh, yum,
Yeah, I made some roasted chickens and mashed
yum,
potatoes and whipped up some green beans and um
yum.
yeah,
How
my kids,
delicious.
yeah.
That's good for you.
Last night I whipped up spaghetti. I made a big old pot of spaghetti last night with
Oh yeah, like
with
spaghetti
veg-
bolognese.
right. I made vegetable medley and on
Oh,
the side
yum.
and yeah, and homemade garlic bread. I'm gonna tell you,
Oh, I love garlic bread,
oh yeah, my daughter
especially
does too.
homemade.
My little girl loves that stuff. So
Yeah,
she likes it homemade. She likes homemade
yeah.
garlic bread. So I
Don't
made
get
her.
decent food out these days. Takeaway tastes like crap.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you, I
Depends
love
where
home
you
cooking.
go.
Yeah, I love home cooking, girl.
Yeah, I don't eat much fast food.
I like to make my cheeseburgers, my cheeseburgers at home and all my French fries and everything. I deep fry. I deep fry a lot and stuff too.
Candace looks like a bulldog.
Right? That's true. I can't fight that
and
one.
and that guy in the last week's video or the other day, that funny looking guy you're teasing. Oh, I pissed myself laughing.
Right?
A short midget guy in one of the background in one of your videos.
Yeah, that was Andrew.
Yeah, he looks like a leprechaun or something.
Right, you got to pick him. You got to pick him up. You got to pick him up to look him in the eye.
He must come across some funny looking people.
Hey, that's what surrounds Summer Wells' case. This is what, it's like a 3-ring circus around this little girl's case, right? Bunch of really
Yeah.
funny looking people and all
Disgusting,
kinds of
isn't it?
messed up. They're all kinds of messed up, girlfriend.
Wonder how long it's gonna take for you to find her.
You know
How long
what?
it'll take the cops.
I heard they're up there all over that cemetery right now. So
Oh,
maybe
that's
not
good.
long. Maybe not long.
Just like that little Madeline McCann that went missing
And I
years
heard they
ago.
got somebody talking. They got somebody is
Well, it's about time.
really jawing right now. So
At least you haven't given up. No one's given up.
absolutely no.
You don't let a case go so cold.
No way. No way we're giving up on Summer. No way we're going
Summer's
to.
the same age as my little cousin.
She got I'm gonna tell you, that little girl, she got one hell of a good army. Summer,
Yeah, her
man,
parents
that
are.
little child is so blessed to have so many
Yeah.
voices sticking together as one for her.
She
And
reminds me of my little cousin.
I'm gonna tell you, I seen you with the little girl, and she looks just
Yeah.
like you.
She does,
I was
doesn't
like,
she?
yeah, she could be your sister, your daughter. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's how much she looks like you. I was like,
It's
she's
because
beautiful.
me and my cousin look alike too. We look like sisters when she's platinum blonde.
Right. Yeah,
She looks like me at the age of 6.
oh,
She
really?
Yeah, she looks like the same age as me when I was about 3, 4.
I'm gonna tell
I
you,
had snow blonde hair when I was little, and then it went dark.
I was like, wow, I couldn't believe that two people, I mean, she really did look like your little mini me, but I
Yeah,
think
it's
you look like your
crazy.
mother's mini me.
Yeah. Anyway, sweetie, I better go. I've got to call my friend. But I
All
hope
right.
you have a beautiful night and have a good laugh with everyone.
Hey.
God
Hey,
bless
girlfriend,
you.
I appreciate you coming up and hanging out with me. God bless and much love.
I'll come back on when you come on next. If
Hey,
I'm home.
hey, absolutely. I'll be looking forward to seeing you, girlfriend.
You too. You have a good one.
Hey, you too. God bless.
Bye, sweetie.
Bye bye. Hey, Phoebe, are you in backstage? Are you in backstage, Phoebe? Does anyone know if? Okay.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, girl?
I just heard your little conversation with Maddie and how much she sounds like me online. Boy oh
Yeah,
boy.
she does. She absolutely sounds exactly like you. She looks like you. I'm gonna tell you.
You think so?
Oh, I
You should see
absolutely
her
do.
father.
When you see
They're like
Maddie,
twins.
I'm gonna tell you, you see you. I know what you look like when you were young because she's a spitting image of you. And the little girl's a spitting image of you too as well. You got a beautiful family. Your
See,
son's
my
a very
internet's
good
bad.
looking man.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
whole family's not bad.
you got a beautiful
My
family, girl.
father, my good looking in his day, and so was my dad. I mean, my brother.
Right?
And my mother she was just beautiful.
I could
She
only imagine.
was gorgeous.
Absolutely. You
That's
guys,
where the eyes come from.
you all have a beautiful, you got a beautiful family. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Anyway, PJ, I just wanted to say hello. Hi to everyone. Andrew, suck the bag.
I'm going to tell you, Andrew needs
You
to
can't
start
stop
working.
PG.
Oh,
You
hell
need to
no.
get a life, boy. He
Nope.
needs to get a life.
I'm going to tell you, PG's a vessel for God. God put me here.
Yep.
I don't even do this kind of stuff right here. This is something I wouldn't even, I said it from the beginning. I'll say it now, and I'll probably say it before, whenever, we decide to give this all up one day. I'll say it
PG,
then. This ain't
you
what I do.
deserve so much more. You deserve um you deserve no the news knowing about you and all you've done, keeping Summer's name out there. There should
Hey,
be a
girl,
news article on a little channel here.
I
Everything
gotta
you've
give,
done, how you've stood by
I
Summer,
got,
how
I
those
gotta give all
pricks,
glory to God. That I
how
give all glory to God.
Don and Candice, all they've done in the last few weeks is get on panel drunk and laugh. Like
Right?
you know when they did that video on Josh's live
Oh
selling the
yeah,
sex tape to
right,
the boss.
right. Of the boss.
Candice, yeah, Candice did a laugh on a channel a few days ago, exactly the same, and she was blind. So whoever
Wow.
is out there and they love Candice and Don, and you support them. People who don't care about their children, people who haven't given a rat's ass about their little girl, who haven't searched for her in years, you're a hybrid.
Well,
All of
I
you.
I also take note that the people who support Don and Candace um are are pretty abusive themselves. You know, they
Can't
have
believe them.
accusations have been made against quite a few of them for abuse upon children and other people and so forth and so on. In order to support evil, you got to be evil. There's no other
Yeah,
alternative for it. You got to be evil if you're supporting evil.
yeah.
You
And
got to be as
I was talking to my dad the other day about Summer and how Don has grown up abusing his sisters, and Candace has been abused her whole life, and
Candace
how
wasn't
they've lost the
abused.
kids. Can you
Candace wasn't
imagine what
abused at all. I've seen pictures. Matter of
wasn't
fact,
she?
I have pictures of Candace and her
But
sisters when they were
can you imagine what they've been doing this last 3.5 to 4 years that they've been on their own? You
just
can't
partying
stop
down.
a predator.
They've been. No, you can't.
You can't.
And
So that I've been wondering, what have they been up to?
well, we saw the video. We saw the video. Of over in Arkansas where the mother came down the stairs with her children, and her and those children came up missing from out of that hotel, and they'd been there long before Candace and Dawn came, and everybody found it suspicious that they disappeared as soon as Dawn and Candace show up, start befriending them, and then meets up with Lisa J, who
Yeah,
had
and
been
Don can't.
corresponding with a predator at the time. Um, you know, Everybody found that very suspicious. Also, we saw the video where they were follow. You could clearly see the two little girls down the road, that they had their focus on and were videoing, to the fullest. And until those older people, I mean, thank God the older ones came out, right, in the road like that, to stop Dawn and Candace in their tracks and turn them aside so that those little girls could get to wherever they was going safely. Um, and that was predator behavior, if you ask me, to the
Yeah,
fullest.
it is. Yep. And they can't hide behind the church. They may
And
fool they may
oh,
fool the people in their church, but they
that's
don't fool
that
they don't fool all of us.
that is one that I have. That is one of the oldest tricks. That is one of the oldest devil's tricks I've ever seen, is trying to hide up in a
Disgusting.
church when you're super evil. When you got a whole lot to hide,
Disgusting.
and you try to get in a church and fit in with the church, in order to, to try to paint yourself white when law enforcement comes down on you. And they try to get into the church because they feel that it gives them a lot of connections to free stuff,
Yep.
to free things and everything, and a lot of inside information within the community, and so forth and so on. So when you're in a church group like that, you don't only get to hear all the gossip, but you also get a lot of free stuff, and they Christmases and holidays and stuff, they sponsor your families, like Candace and Dawn. They sponsor families like that, so they get a lot of free things that they can sell, to make more substance abuse money, if you ask me. That's my opinion. And like I said, and when the law's coming down on them, then they feel that they're able to paint their self white with that, I'm a Christian, a commandment keeper, all of that
Yep.
stuff. And I'm going to tell you, I worked very hard to try to stick with God Almighty. I worked very hard at it. And I'm going to tell you something. Um, uh, Even, I don't care how good of a Christian you are, you just can't keep that commandment all the time. No matter how hard you try, you cannot keep that commandment. Um, you know, you're
They've
going to fall
committed
short.
a lot of they've committed a lot of
Everyone,
the
every
commandments.
human is going to fall short of the glory of God. We're going to all fall short of the
Yep.
glory of God each and every day, because we're just humans. We're just humans. I mean, no matter how hard, um, I do a great job. I do a beautiful job, right? And then I wake up. And
Fantastic job.
then I wake up, and, you know, um, I ain't doing such a beautiful job, after that. But I still, I try. And I think that's
You've
what
done
God
an
wants you to
amazing
do.
job, PJ. You should be so proud of yourself.
Girl,
Honestly,
sometimes
you deserve some recognition for what you've done for the last 4 years.
I do know that,
Your name
you
should be out there
you can't be weak.
being
You can't
Summer's
be weak in
Army.
this. But I'm going to tell you, sometimes,
Absolutely.
sometimes when these people are coming at us sideways, Australia, when they're coming at us sideways, and we have to stand our ground and do what it takes, to back them up and send them in the other
Yep.
direction. You know, sometimes I don't feel so proud of myself, to be honest. You know, I hate to
Well,
go down on people's levels like that. I like to
I
stay,
know, but sometimes
above
they
it if I
deserve it.
can. Oh, they do. They do. And a lot of times it's the only way you can make them turn tail and get gone. But, you shouldn't have to do it, because they shouldn't be so evil as to be doing what they're doing in the first
Joan,
place, you
it's
know.
exactly.
And, I always
If
tell
they
God,
what's good for the geese is good for the gander.
every day I go to the church, every single day I pray. And I always, I always tell God, I love everybody and I want to see everybody in heaven, even the evil people. I hope they change, you know, and I do forgive them. I forgive them for their sins. That's true because I have to forgive them to get forgiveness. And the forgiveness ain't just for them, it's for yourself. It's for you so that you can, move on with your life without allowing that to live rent free in your head, and
Yeah.
and try to own up your feelings. Um, it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do. But
Anyway, you hold your head high because you should be very proud of yourself. I can tell
and I
you that
appreciate that,
all
girl.
all of us mods are proud of you. We
Hey,
love you,
I'm proud of all of you. I'm
and
proud of all
all
of
the
you.
subs. We all love you too. Thanks for the support, everybody out there.
You you
And
guys are
please hit that
amazing.
like button for PG. Please hit that like button. Doesn't take 5 seconds to hit that like button for PG supporter.
And it
Anyway,
helps.
PG, can you kick me off because I'm stuck?
Girl, you're gonna make me boot you?
Yeah.
Hey, you know I love you, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Love
Hey,
you.
God bless and much love, girlfriend.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Wow. I think that's the hardest thing I've had to do. Right? That's the hardest thing I think I've had to do today is boot my Australia. Yeah, I that's true, Chris. That's true. But PG, I believe the well is running dry for Don and Candace. Yep. They have shown who they really are in more ways than one. That's true, Chris. That's true. And they got very few people supporting them now. They used to have a lot of people, and all of those people, all of those people, but a few, have seen the true them, and and fled in the other direction away from them. And I thank God for that. I thank God for that. I always pray, for people to be able to see evilness for what it is. Um, you know, and I truly believe God answered our prayers on that one, and is allowing people to actually see, how horrible people these people are for once. And I think you know that's because we're starting to focus more on these victims, and and not letting the light shine so much on the predators anymore, the suspects. um we're starting to not be afraid to face how evil these people are. We're starting to get our backbones. We're starting to get our backbones back again in this world, in this country. And I think that we're starting to we're God's making us strong enough to stand up and say, hey, we're going to face how evil this world is, and we're going to also face how powerful our God is, and how powerful he can make us to be able to stand against it and do what it takes to shut it all down, if need be. And to really focus in on the victims now, to focus in on the ones who deserve to be center stage in this life, the ones who that 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 the true tragedy happened to. And we're not going to and we're not shining no big lights on these people who felt that they that they, silence someone's voice, and now they're the only voice that can be heard, and by, still having their voice, they're going to get all the support. No, the hell no, you're not. You're not going to get all the support. The support's going to all go to the one who deserves it, the victim, the voice you stole. And we're going to step in and be the voice for them. And we're going to make sure that we're way louder than you, so that your voice, is very small and ain't going to make a difference anyway. And we're going to make sure that we are so loud that we're going to let law enforcement hear our cry for these innocent people who have been destroyed like this, and we get justice for them, that we get the justice that these victims deserve in our country. We're not going to tolerate this bullshit no more. These mother freaking predators and these suspects are not heroes. They're evil beings that deserve to be put in prison. The real hero is the voice they silenced, the innocent humans that they destroyed and took out of this world, that was actually making something and would have became something way greater than they ever could have been. But they destroyed it. Those are the heroes. Right? These people, in Summer's case, these people played so many games. It was evil, just the games they played, and the way they, just desecrated everything about this little girl's case. It was horrible to watch. It was horrible to watch. The way these people acted. It was very hard to believe. I mean, trust me, I've seen some real super evilness in my life. Some real super evilness. But I think these people took the cake, to be honest with you. And just game after game, just like Don Wells and Candace and them, they sit around and let people believe that, they sit around and let people believe that this woman was Grandus's, was Candace. They let people believe. Hold on, let me find it. Right here. They let people believe that this woman right here was Don's mother for a long time. They let people believe that this was Don's mother. This was not Don Wells' mother. This was Grandus's. This was Grandus's girlfriend. This lady was Grandma's girlfriend, who was hanging around up there on Ben Hill Road. I mean, they swooped in on Don's mother. Can you imagine what that woman went through? Can you imagine? This woman, she thought that her son and his wife was going to come there with their baby and help her and, watch over her and care about her and help, help get some things done to the home that, she'd been seeking to get done. And, and they end up playing loud music and driving her from what witnesses said. They were, really driving this poor sick woman, into her grave, right? Into her grave, allegedly. And I believe it. I believe that they were evil enough to be up there doing all of these evil things. And Grandma came up there. I think Grandus came up there, and she just added to, you know, all the turmoil and everything. And, you know, it is probably, I don't think we will ever know how abused Don Well's mother got with them being in the home with her, right? I bet she got just as abused as those children got abused. I bet she didn't, you know, there's probably days she got no food whatsoever if she had to depend on them. And, you know, and she went downhill and out of this world really quick once they got there, right? Because this is the girlfriend of Grandus. And that's not Don's mother. Don's mother did not get to, you know, see the grandkids and enjoy any of her grandkids. Once they come up there, all she got was put 6 foot down, right? That's what she got. And this woman right here swooped in and you know, and lived large off of this other lady's, you know, this everything this other lady worked for, everything she worked to gain all those years. This woman came in and just, you know, laid around on it for nothing. And something she was used to doing. Grandis was used to laying around on other people, just like her freaking nasty daughter lays around on people as well, right? They both, you know, just want to lay around somewhere on somebody, you know, until they get thrown out, right? Until they get thrown out. And then they try to find another place to be laying on somebody till they can pick something else up. You know, they're in limbo, but they find places pretty quick. They seem to find places pretty fast, if you ask me. And it seems like the righteous people pay the price for these people's evilness, right? That's my opinion. This is Don's real mother. This is Don Wells' real mother right here. This is the woman who worked hard, married Mr. Goad, worked very hard to achieve what they achieved up there on Ben Hill Road. She's the one that worked hard for everything. And you know, thought that her son and his wife was going to, you know, help her and extend her life. But, you know, she found that when they got there, you know, they just worked to make sure that, you know, her life didn't last long at all, in my opinion. And, you know, it didn't. It didn't. Yeah, she's absolutely beautiful, right? She's beautiful. She's a very beautiful woman, very highly intelligent woman. She, you know, she wrote books and, you know, achieved a lot of things in her life and a very good human being, you know. And it's too bad that her damn son couldn't have been a good human being as well, right? It's too bad that Don Wells, you know, didn't cherish the things that mean the most, and that's family. He's a real piece of shit. But she is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, she is beautiful. God bless her. God rest her soul, right? God rest her soul. Right there. Oh, Hopalong. Oh, Hopalong Grandus, right? Miss Hopalong. Oh, my knee. Oh, my knee. I had to go to the doctors because of my knee and get a shot because of my knee. And you should feel sorry for me because of my knee. I know, you old hag, we're feeling sorry for your granddaughter, and that's why we're here and what we want to talk about. Nobody gives a fuck about your knee, right? Actually, you know, Might bump your knee on the way out, right? Might have to bump it on the way out. I don't know yet. Yeah. Nobody cares about your damn knee. And you know, that tells a lot about a human. That tells a whole lot about a human. You know what it tells me? You're a selfish, self-seeking, self-centered piece of shit. When you've got a missing daughter and a missing granddaughter, and you're sitting there thinking somebody gives a fuck about your little dumbass knee, right? That you didn't even have a brace on 2 days after your granddaughter went missing. Matter of fact, Don Wells said he didn't see it on your ass from day one. But we seen you in the background on the news, and you didn't have no brace on your knee, right? Your ass was sitting back there looking all fine and damn, you know, dandy, candy dandy, sitting on the freaking background right there with nothing on that knee. Which, you know, allows us to understand that the trip into Kingsport was bullshit. And a damn thing wrong with your knee, Granny. You just made up an excuse to go in there so you could pick up Hunter, go to that swimming hole, and do what I believe was done. And that's my opinion. I'm going to keep it. And, you know, I'm still asking the question, you know, why didn't Day Day, what she got Can around, why doesn't Day Day say, hey, Candace, who was it that did whatever it was to Summer that caused her to have to be destroyed like that? Who was it? I mean, clearly Don changing up vehicles the day before, firing his co-worker to blame it on, and then it all happening on June the 15th, clearly shows that it's premeditated and carried out. So, with that being said, exactly who done what to Summer to cause her to look so sickly and needing to be taken out of this world so that people wouldn't go to prison? Who was it that did that? Right? Why doesn't Day Day ask that question? Was it Don? Was it Jody Sue's boy? Was it Grandus? Was it, you know, who was it? Who exactly did it? Was it Hunter? Who was it that done something that caused this child to have to pay the price to keep everyone from going to prison? Who did it? That's the question. Because in my opinion, we know everything else. We'd just like to know who the hell was responsible. Where did it go wrong and who made it go wrong? Right? That's what we want to know. This is Candace's daughter. This is the daughter from Utah. I was adopted at 6 months, put back into foster care around the age of 12, along with my brother. Same name as bio father. I was told my bio mom was on, you could read it for yourself there, was and I believe that, and abused us as babies. She has a record, not sure if she has one where she is now, Tennessee, but she has one or a few in Wisconsin for sure. I've never met any other siblings besides my bio. I know as much as you guys. I'm sorry, can't be much help. this is her side of why my brother and I got taken. That's her daughter. That is from her daughter. You know, her daughter wants nothing to do with her. Nothing. Why? Because Candace Candace was abusive as hell. And, and didn't want nothing to do with them. She didn't want nothing to do with them. I mean, why, if you don't want nothing, if you can't be good to your children when they're little and have all to do with them, why the hell would they want to have anything to do with you later? I mean, what is wrong with your brain? What's wrong with your brain to believe that your child should even have anything else to do with you when you weren't ever there for them? Why the hell should they all of a sudden be there for you? That's a little, that's a little one-sided as hell, right? Let me go out and enjoy my life and do all the things I want to do and, and be abusive to you, until you get gone. And I don't have to put up with you no more. And so I can live, I can live the way I want to live and, and do me. And then later, if you survive their abuse, if you actually survive their abuse, which, it's looking like, one child barely survived, to the point that won't be normal anymore. So, is that really surviving or not? And then you have one that, we know is completely gone. So it didn't survive, right? That's my opinion. And, and why would these kids want anything to do with you, later, if they survived your bullshit? Why would you even think that they would? I mean, there's got to be something mentally freaking wrong with somebody. Here they are partying. Summer Moon Utah Wells is missing. And there's Candace partying, right? She's partying. Her and Grandus. Where's the tears? Where the hell is the tears, you guys? I want to know where. Oh, I was crying. No, you wasn't. No, you fucking wasn't. Look, where's the tears, Grandma? Where's the tears? Ain't no damn tears. A bunch of faked ass shit right there. Bunch of fake shit. Look at them. Look at them. Where's them tears at? Where in the hell's the tears? Grandma's, at some, she goes every year to try to get some attention by, wrinkling up her damn face and looking all ugly like she's trying to cry, right? She's looking all ugly like she's trying to cry, but no tears get squeezed out. And, and it's all for show. It's all for show. That's my opinion. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to tell you something. This woman looks like a man. Just saying. She looked like a fucking man. Like a lumberjack. Like a fucking lumberjack. Right? I've been looking for the picture of her out in the mother freaking forest. Right? Because that's what she'd be looking like to me. Living off of mother freaking beans and cornbread. Look, party. That's all she likes to do. That's all she likes to do. Right? There ain't no tears there. There ain't no tears. Candace and Grandus, the main two humans that was with Summer on June 15, 2021. Candace, Hunter, and Summer was on video at the horse pond, but not Grandus. Why? When talking with the news, Grandus said, that she was at the top of the hill hoping no one abducted the boys too. Who in the hell sends boys out to be abducted? If you felt that someone got abducted, are you sending other people out there to get abducted too? Because I sure the hell ain't. I'm not sending others to be gone as well. I mean, does that make that make sense? Make that make sense. I'm going to tell you, if I send other people out, then I know it's bullshit about, I know that they're safe, or else I want others to be hurt, or I want others to be hurt, right? I'm a sick, sinister person, wanting to make sure others get hurt as well. Um, you know, but in this case, in Summer's case, I don't think they'd let the boys out if they truly believed. If they truly believed there was an abductor out there, they wouldn't have let the boys out, right? They wouldn't have done that. That's insane. That's insane. And there was, they knew there was no abduction. That's why they didn't care about letting the boys loose. And that's why Candace didn't care to get in a vehicle and fly off the hill. And, they knew it was all bullshit. They knew it was all bullshit. That's my opinion. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. Everything. And that's another thing. All three of them already had their story straight, right? All three of them already agreed upon abduction. No wandering off, because we don't want law enforcement around here. We can't let them think any type of foul play, because we don't want to end up in prison. We're going to go for abduction to get, somebody took her, get it the hell away from here. Go find who it was, Mr. Law Enforcement, because we don't want you around here, right? We don't want you in our business. We don't want to be feeling uncomfortable. We don't want to be feeling paranoid, like, what we did to this little girl. So you need to go look somewhere else so we can feel comfortable, and continue to work together to answer all the questions that might come at us at a later date. We got to be prepared, and we need to prepare even better than we are now. And that's what they were doing. The whole time, that's what they were fucking doing. They were scripted. They were scripted to a T. We planted flowers, washed hands, got a piece of candy, and took her and put her in a house, and poof, she was just gone. No, you didn't put her in no damn house, and she was just gone. Those boys told everybody that they thought their sister was out there on the swing. They told Jody Sue swing. They told the flute player swing. That means that they didn't ever see the sister inside the house. And they didn't ever see her in the house because she was still in the vehicle, getting put into a black tote to go meet up with Chad Arnold and took over to the cemetery. Now, just imagine this. Just imagine this. What if Summer, could have been resuscitated? What if the job wasn't done good enough? It looked like it was, but it wasn't. And they put her in this tote and put her way down in that ground and packed dirt on it. And put a big vault on top of it. And somehow, the jolt of everything maybe revived her. And she's in this tote alive. Not able to get out. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? It happens. It happens. Right? It happens. A lot of people, have been pronounced deceased and all of a sudden wake up, right? Can you imagine that? Let's look, let's look at what the victim went through, what the victim possibly endured, at the time, during, after. And before. Do you know, if you were 5 years old and you seen a big old boy coming at you, some huge 200 and some pound boy heading towards you to do a dirty deed for mommy and put you under like that until you were completely unconscious, or maybe maybe you saw Jesus and took his hand and watched yourself be pulled out of that water lifeless and carried away to grandma's vehicle, throwed on a pillow against the driver's side door where this big old boy staring at you that just did something this awful to you, right? Imagine being 5 years old and going through that fear of someone that you've always been kind of afraid of, because you always got that fearfulness from that person that they were capable of doing anything, and you really didn't want them around you anyway, but they always was because of mommy. And then they do this to you. Imagine being 5 years old, going through all of that. Imagine struggling in the fear until life did leave you. The thrashing and the trying to push to save yourself, but you can't because the force is too strong. Like it always was your whole life, as you were abused and made to do so many things you didn't want to the point that that it came down to even that. Just imagine. And then imagine being dumped in a tote like a piece of garbage and hidden away under someone else's burial site, and possibly waking up and having no way to come out. And you have to go through all that fear again, even more so. And no matter how loud you scream, no one can hear you. Imagine that. Now, imagine how freaking evil somebody has to be to put a 5-year-old innocent child through all of this. Now imagine that, right? Right there. Right there. Take a look right there on that screen. Because in my opinion, I truly believe that those two fucking women right there are capable of not caring about nothing but their own asses and willing to destroy whatever they have to keep those asses out of prison. That's my opinion. I'm going to keep it. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. And I also truly believe that Hunter was capable of going into that water and destroying that little girl. That's my opinion too. He lied. He lied. He said Summer was on the pillow, the only one wet. The only one wet on the pillow, he said. Well, we know he was wet too. And I feel he's guilty because he was trying to gaslight us into believing his ass was dry. He wanted to separate his ass from Summer in that swimming hole. And the only reason I would think that you would want to do that is because you know what you done. That's my opinion. I'm going to keep it. And people say, well, PG says my opinion. Well, I'm going to tell you, you have to. You have to. You have to say that. Because you got a sorry-ass law enforcement in Tennessee that just don't seem to know how to do their fucking job. That's my opinion, too. I'm going to keep it. Yeah. I'm glad you agree with me, Amanda. I'm glad you agree with me, girlfriend. Absolutely. Law enforcement down there. See, Amanda agreed. She put the 1 when I was talking about law enforcement. She put this 1. I'm like, that girlfriend right there, she agreed with PG when it comes to that law enforcement. She knows. She knows. Oh no, that milk jug video was definitely from that day. You know what? I got that milk jug video. And I'm going to tell you another thing. It don't sound like Candace or Grandus in that milk jug video. That sounds like Allison. It sounds like Allison in that damn video, not Grandus.
She still got her arm up?
No. Summer went swimming that day at the horse stables, I believe it was. And then we come back in.
Listen to this old lady. She's like, Summer went swimming, I believe, at the horse pond that day. I think, well, and of course, Summer too. Right? This is how this lady talks. Yeah, she sounds like one of those freaking warnings that come over your phone or TV set. Right? Listen to it. Straight up. It really does.
And then we come back in. I went in my camper, and after we brought my groceries in for me, and the boys helped with that.
And see? The boys didn't help you at all. Candace said they didn't help your ass at all. That you took your own shit into your camper. Because because you went into Kingsport using your knee in order to pick up Hunter to go to that swimming hole that day. Because you guys done had it all planned out. all planned out and someone to blame it on. You had it all planned out and a sucker to blame it on and a place to put her, and you guys went for it. And you went for it. That's my opinion, Granny. I will keep it.
And of course, Summer. And I laid down and went to sleep, and I got up and I was sitting in my doorway.
I went to sleep. I went to sleep because I want to clear myself out of this shit that happened, because that she got gone after we got to the house. And I want to clear my shit out of all of this, and leave Candace hanging in the wind. I want to make sure I leave Candace and everybody else hanging in the wind while I'm sleeping. I mean, Grandma was trying to protect her own backside, right? I was taking a big granny nap. I was taking a big granny nap when everything went down.
We come out, and Candace asked me what I was doing. I said, well, we got to transplant these little cactuses into bigger pots.
Oh, that's what I was trying to catch, but she still got her arm up?
No.
Oh.
See, that don't sound like Grandma. That sounds like Allie. That sounds like Allie. Straight up, that sounds like Allison. That does not sound like Grandus.
Oh, that's what I was trying to catch, but...
And if you take a look here, this is the first picture is when Granny's got her cap on her vehicle. This first picture right here is when she's got the cap on the back of the vehicle. The second picture don't look like she had the cap. It does not look like the cap was on the back of this vehicle. It looks like the cap was off the vehicle, if you ask me. There's a big difference. There's a big difference with the cap on and the cap off. And you can also see that the sides of Summer's head is not all freaking blue. It's not all freaking blue like it is in the second picture. Look, her head looks normal. She's got her little hair right there and everything. Her, there's no bruising. There's no turning the color that in the second picture. Look how bruised up the sides of Summer's head is. It looks like she's wearing makeup as well. In the first picture, this is Granny's vehicle as well, and there's no bruising or anything on Summer's little head. There you go. I don't know why law enforcement hasn't arrested these people. You can clearly see, look how bruised up and bluing it's turning. It's turning blue all the way up in the hairline, all the way up into the hairline there. Look, there's no blue. There's no, no, there's no bruising looking when she was awake. And look, nothing, absolutely not. Looky there. Absolutely not. The sun does not make it look like that baby's head is bruised up. Absolutely. It was bruised. It was bruised, you guys. Right there is the cap on it. And it sure looked like that cap wasn't on it on June 15, 2021. It did not. And look at this door all the way back so that she gets a clear view of everything out there, everything. And if you can see that camper from the basement door, then if you can see the camper from the basement door, then that camper door can see the basement. Just saying. It's pure bullshit. Right here. Look at that. You can see that's where Granny and them was. And look, you can see all the way down to that basement door. All the way down. There you go. If anybody came on that hill right there, look, you would see them. You would hear them. Right? You would see and you would hear. So that's bullshit. That's bullshit, you guys. Absolute bullshit.
And she took me into the hospital, and I ended up getting and they prescribed me medication around my knee. Around for my prescription somewhere, and we come back in with that in, and of course, summer. And I laid down once, and we come out into bigger pots. And
Tell me when you first realized.
it was hell. 12 years. Didn't do nothing but cry.
That
And we
might
yelled
not
for
be
her, and we
what I'm
yelled for
looking
her,
for.
and yelled for her. And we could not find her. Candy was in hysterics. And we never did find her. She called 911, and she called Donnie, and we sent the boys down over the hill, and I stood in front of over by the edge there and watched them. And was praying to God every minute that nobody would take them. And there was no sign of her.
Do you believe that someone took Summer, or do you believe that she wandered off? What do you believe happened?
I believe somebody took her.
Bullshit.
No.
Took me into the ER.
Okay, I'll be. Yeah,
Now
I'm gonna
listen to this.
film
Listen.
around this side.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I want you guys to listen to this.
Okay, I'm gonna film around this side.
You hear how loud that door is? And right there's the camper. Right up there's the camper. Listen to how loud this door is.
Okay, I'm gonna film around this side. No, around this side. No, around this side. No, around this side. No, around this side. No.
Took me into the ER because my leg was messing up on me, and we were afraid.
Now, did you see Granny turn her head? Watch.
ER because my leg was messing up on me.
Did you hear the noise?
And we
now
were
what?
afraid.
She's looking. When she was talking to the news, somebody closed a vehicle door. Somebody shut a door. Now listen to when the door shuts.
It was messing up on me, and we were afraid.
Look at her look. Look at her look. She was sitting right there at the camper where you can plainly see the whole thing. And I'm going to tell you, we all know how kids slam a door, right? We all know how a child slams a door. You let a kid, your kids, your kids went to the bathroom, right? Your kids all went to the bathroom and here they come out, slam, right? I mean, you're like, whoa. You always have to tell kids, don't slam the door so hard, right? Don't slam and the next time, bam, and bam. You don't even bother them no more because you get used to hearing the slam. You just give up because kids slam like that. They slam like Candace, that big old brute. Did you see her slam that door? Did you see the muscle she stuck in to slamming it? Like, boom, right? I thought the door was going to come, or at least the handle, off in her hand. Like, she really gave it a whacking too, right? Of course. And old Granny sitting right there at the trailer, sitting straight up there at the trailer. Let me show it to you one more time.
So took me into the ER because my leg was messing up on me, and we were afraid.
There it is. Slam. She looks. Come on, Granny, show us how you do it.
Into the ER because my leg was messing up on me, and we were afraid.
She's looking. She heard it. She heard somebody's door slam, and here she is, Boy, what big ears you have, Grandma. Better to hear you with. Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you, big old Granny was sitting right there, y'all. Right there's big old Granny. Right there, you can see. Look, from the basement door, you can see them. And they can see you. Take a look at it. She had her butt stationed where she could see everything. She could see and hear it all, honey. And I'm going to tell you, with her sitting there, no way. Her eyeballs are looking, her big ears are listening, her big teeth are grinning. Hell no. If anything come around there, that old lady's going to be on it. She's going to be on it. Let me tell you now, she could smell a man or a woman 50 miles away. She could smell them. I heard that her and Candace was picking up homeless people 50 miles away because they could smell them, and they'd gotten a vehicle, went and got them and brought them back. So there wasn't nothing around there for 50 miles that they couldn't smell. Right? They were willing to bring it all back up on the hill too. There you go. I rest my case.
I know
I
people
rest
say
my case when it comes to this one. In my opinion, they're guilty as hell. They've always been guilty. They will always be guilty. Whether it's in a court of law or not, they're guilty. And they damn know it. And you know what? They got to live with it, right? They got to live with it. Every freaking day, they've got to live with it. They know what they did to this poor little innocent 5-year-old child. They know what they did. In my opinion, they plotted, they cut this little girl's beautiful hair off to save their own asses. It was all about them. Nothing about Summer. It was all about them. They literally skinned her head. Right? They cut it to the scalp, honey. Bald as a cue. And at that time, they done started plotting against her. And this little girl, she probably had no idea at first. But I think by the time it all came down, I think Summer, knew. I think she knew that something wasn't right, that something was very wrong. And, she tried to make the best. Summer was one of them children that tried to make the best out of everything. She tried to make the best out of the worst. Right up until she disappeared. God bless her. God bless her. No child should ever be done like that. That child walked through hell from birth, according to witnesses, a lot of witnesses. She walked through hell from birth. Very abused, neglected, mistreated, malnutritioned, and God knows everything else that she had to endure, like the showers and the middle of the bed and a whole lot of other things. I'm sure how horrible was that? How horrible was that? Very horrible. Very horrible. But she was surrounded by a very evil group of people. And I think Allison and her family was fucking, as much in the devil's web as Candace, Dawn, Grandus, and all the rest of Ben Hill Road. That was, hanging around the Wells house. I think that, I think they were all evil as hell. And, And something really sinister was going on with these people. Something very sinister was going on with this bunch of people. But I've got more. I'm bringing more to the table. A lot of stuff you guys probably don't know. Maybe some of you do. A lot of you probably don't. But I'm going to be bringing a lot more to the table. God willing, Saturday night. There's a whole lot more to, you know, to these people than meets the eye. A lot of these people, you know, a lot of these people we had ideal that some of them might be good people. And I'm going to tell you, the more you dig, the more you find not a damn one of them was worth the salt that went into their bread. Not a damn one of them. And so I'll be bringing a whole lot more to the table on all of this. But as you've seen tonight, there's no way anybody came on that property or around any door without grandma's big ears being on it. Don Wells, you know, wanted to eliminate grandma. Don Wells wanted to gaslight everybody. Oh, I guess the scream came when Candace was in the house looking for Summer. I know that scream came, you know, about the time Summer was coming out to help plant and wash hands and get candy. And, you know, she wouldn't even got put back into the house until damn near 6 o'clock, right? Around about 5:55 is about the time she'd have been going back in the house. That damn scream was back at 4:43, 4:47. No way in hell that could have been Summer. So with that being said, give it up, Don Wells. Give it up. You know, you ain't gaslighting our asses with some bullshit like that. We're way smarter. We're too educated for that bullshit right there. You know, and this is the stuff Don Wells believes that, you know, he can blow this kind of trash at people and they're going to, you know, say, hand me a spoon and let me have some of that shit. I don't think so. Not today. Keep your spoon, eat it all yourself. Right? Don't want none. You know, I'm going to tell you, these people look like they crawled out from underneath rocks. They really do. And that's what evil looks like. That's what evil looks like right there. You know, I don't care. You know, I know these people probably didn't bath and you know, and use toilet paper and stuff. But the point being is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much an evil person uses soap and water. They still mother freaking look just like Don and Candace. Evil can only look one way. Fucking evil. That's it. You know, you can't clean it up. You can't clean it up. The outside always looks as dirty and corrupted as the inside. You can spot evilness a mile away. Just saying, you know. Hold on, you guys. I had to get me another pack of cigarettes out. I ran out. I don't like to run out of cigarettes. It's just too damn hard counting all that change that I'm digging for in the sofas to buy these cigarettes to be running out. Right? I work hard for my money. So hard for my money. Right? I know what Benny Keys was doing to get his. He was working hard for his money. That's what he was doing. But I know what he's talking about. When you live poor, when you live a poor life and you live in the ghetto, oh, trust me, you check the sofas and the chairs, you check everything for some money, some change, right? You check everything for change. You be turning that freaking sofa upside down, seeing if any change is, if any change is inside that little skirt thing they stick on the bottom, right, of the sofa. Hoping somebody lost something so you can, grab a pop or bag of chips. I know what Benny's talking about because, I came from that hard life too. I came out of the ghetto. I came out of, the freaking hood. Absolutely. So I know exactly what he's talking about. I'm going to tell you, I don't know what that, searching for that change did for Benny, but I know what it did for me. It made me want to get a damn job and make my own money, right? My own money, so I could afford to lose some change in the sofa for somebody else to find. And that's exactly what I did. As soon as I was old enough to start making money, working anything to make some money, I started working, right? I cut grass, I cleaned people's yards, I washed windows. I mean, any way I could help to make a couple bucks, I was right there doing it. Until I, was old enough to get a real job. Then I got a real job. And I liked having a real job. I remember opening my first bank account. I remember, how proud I was of myself. And I liked that. I liked getting my own. I liked being able to go and, to the mall and buy what I wanted to buy and have nice stuff and know that I got it. I paid for it and I achieved it righteously. I loved it. I loved buying my first vehicle. There's a great sense of accomplishment when you do it yourself. It's a beautiful feeling. I don't want nothing that no one else has. I just want my own. And I want my own to be respected, not destroyed by evil people. That's it. I think evil people should get their own too. And stop fucking looking at everybody else's. Stop coveting what everyone else has. And start getting their own. It's just how I think. But as you've seen, Grandma and Candace was right there. There is no way they wouldn't have heard what's going on down here. Now you've seen Candace come out that door and you heard how loud it was. You witnessed a car door getting shut, a freaking car door. Not a big heavy door like this, just a regular old car door. And you seen Grandus's head turn immediately. Grandus is very vigilant. Very vigilant. And I'm going to tell you, nobody came on this property and took nobody. That's bullshit. That's my opinion. I will keep it. Them two old bags know what happened to this little girl. And you know what? They've got two choices. They can let it haunt them the rest of their lives. And I know it does. Or they can tell and let this little baby have peace and her brothers get closure. But I bet you 10 to 1 that them two old bitches are going to worry about their own asses like they always have and nobody else's. They don't care if those boys get closure, and they don't care if this little girl finds peace. And I bet you right now, they're listening. I bet you they got their big ears tuned in, right? The antennas are up, their big ears tuned in, their eyeballs watching. And I bet both of them thinking the same damn thing. We wouldn't have went through everything to hide it up if we was going to tell about it, right? We wouldn't have hid it up if we was going to tell about it. They think they got away with something. Well, I sure hope that God gets on law enforcement's back. And I sure hope that God gets them up at that cemetery like I've heard they're already been. And I hope God lets them check that grave and find this baby. And when they do, I hope that the people who put her there start singing like a bird and tells everything on Candace. And Candace is going to sing like a bird on Hunter. And we're going to find out what happened to this child. We're going to know all the truth, and they are going to get what's coming to them. And that's what I'm praying for. Even as we speak, I'm praying. This little girl was the victim in this particular case. This little girl deserves the spotlight, not them fucking evil bastards that keep wanting to crawl out here and show their ass when nobody wants to see them anymore. We don't want to hear them no more. Until, unless they want to tell what happened to Summer Moon Utah Wells, unless they want to confess, we don't want to see them. Don't show your ass out here, Candace. Don't show your ass out here. None of you should be showing yourselves out here if you're not going to confess what happened to this little girl. Because none of us want to see you. You just make us sick. You make Summer's army sick. You're the ones not wanting to be seen. What we want to see is Summer. We want to see Summer. We want to put her out here, and we want to continue to keep her in the light until someone decides they want to tell the truth, until someone wants to really come forward and save their soul from Hades and let the truth be known. That's when we want to see and listen to. We don't want to hear no more of the bullshit. You don't have supporters out here, Candace. Actually, Jinky's done said that Day Day doesn't believe a damn thing you say, Candace, that she believes that you and Don and Grandus are guilty as hell. She done said that Day Day is just trying to save face, but she believes you're as guilty as all freaking get out. And everybody does. Everybody does. That's no freaking secret out here. Everybody thinks you're damn guilty. Everybody. They're just waiting for your ass to slip up good enough that we can get justice for Summer. But I think you already have. Well, actually not you, Candace, but, Andy Bernard. Actually, to be honest with you, when they look down in that grave over there, and if they do find little Summer in a big black tote, well, I guess we got to tell Andy we sure appreciate his cooperation and his roundabout way of wanting Summer found. We appreciate that he wants to actually get a space in heaven, even if it ain't that big, standing room only, that he wants to be there too. And that we're grateful. We're grateful that he had enough in him to try to help her. Because no one else did. No one else did. Fred Hill didn't. Laura didn't. Chad Arnold didn't. Marlena Crawford didn't. Her brother or sister-in-law didn't. None of these mother freakers, none of these evil people surrounding this little girl. Allison didn't. Hunter didn't. None of them. None of them tried to help her be found. Just Andy. Just Andy had enough to speak up and let the cat out of the bag. That's what I believe. And like Jody Sue, he wanted to take it back, but you know, it was too late. Everybody's already on it. Everybody's already on it. So it is what it is. You know what? They already wrote a book on the Idaho 4, right? There's been a book wrote on the Idaho 4 already. There was a man that actually wrote a book. He was writing a book on the Summer Wells case, but people went at him. They all went at him sideways and made him stop. You know, that wasn't a smart thing to do. That was not intelligent at all. We needed that man. We needed that man to keep writing, and we needed him to keep pushing the narrative for Summer to be found and brought home and justice served. You know, when you stop people in high places that can push a narrative and get things done, you hurt no one but the victim. But people went at him really hard and really strong and really sideways. And they made him, you know, and they made him just fade into the dark the way Don and Candace Wells, you know, wanted Summer to fade as well. We should have kept him out here. We should have kept that man out here. God bless him. God bless him. He was doing, you know, he was doing good work. And to be honest, I miss him. I miss him. I hope he comes back, you know, stronger than he did before. And I hope he writes the book for Summer. I hope he writes that book for the whole world to read. Because I, and my own opinion is, I truly believe that this man was able to put the puzzle together just like us. And his book would tell the same story we're telling. It was premeditated, carried out on June 15, 2021. And all of these people are just waiting for law enforcement to do their job and solve Summer's case. And we all think that they could have already prosecuted. They could have already prosecuted and put these people in prison. I think there's enough evidence, myself, solid evidence to prove that they're guilty of what happened June 15, 2021. Just by Don Wells changing up his vehicle and firing his coworker to blame it on shows that it was pre-planned and carried out on the 15th. Summer on the milk jugs with the bruising, so, you know, all over, and just what Hunter slipped up and told about her being wet on the pillow, not dressed yet, shows that, you know, she wasn't dressed till they got to Allison's house, where it looks like makeup was applied to her face as well. Which, you know, now leads us to understand she was unalived, or at least they believe she was, you know, on the milk jugs. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like I said, sometimes, you know, you think someone is gone and, you know, and they're not. They wake up, right? They wake up. I mean, people that go into comas and stuff, they can, you know, weird looking colors and stuff. And then, you know, when they finally come out of the coma, their color and everything comes back, and, you know, and they're okay. You know, but she, you know, once they put you in a tote and they stick you under somebody else's, you know, under somebody else's big old gravesite, right? They bring all that stuff down on you. You can't get out. You can't get out. And then, you know, then you basically, you know, suffocate all over again. Think about that. I mean, was they sure? They didn't take her, you know, there, no doctor checked her to make sure that she was 100%, you know, passed away. And it's my opinion on those milk jugs, you know, it sure looked like she was. But we can't be sure. We can't be sure. And that's a scary thought. That's a very scary thought, that she might have had to go through that tragedy twice instead of once. Think about that, right? I think Hunter needs to think about that too. And Candace, and Donald, and Grandus, and Chad Arnold. I think they all need to think about it. Anyway, you guys, you know, I just wanted to bring this out here. I wanted to you know, to let you know that Grandus is not gone. She's still here. She's still here. She's still running that ass around, right? All over the place, wherever, you know, wherever she can find herself to be welcome, she's there, you know. So, you know, I did extensive research, and everything shows that Grandma's still with us. Granny's still with us. And why didn't Day ask, you know, why didn't she ask Candace tonight, hey, did Grandma pass away? Because that's the rumor out here. Why didn't she ask Candace? Or why didn't Candace even bother, you know, why didn't Candace offer to tell people, hey, I'm hearing this awful rumor and it's not true? Could people quit saying it? No, because Candace don't care about her mom. She don't care about what rumors are going around about her mother. She don't care about nothing but her damn self. That's the way evil is. It's the way it will always be. And I can't support that. Not going to support it. Don't want to support it. Too busy supporting this innocent, beautiful, blue-eyed, blonde-haired, gorgeous little girl who deserved to live her life like everyone else and become whatever she wanted to become in the future. And that was all taken away from her on June 15, 2021. Keep the prayers going up for her. Keep the prayers. Right there she is, standing at that back door. Right there she is. Maybe she'll always be standing there, wondering how someone could do something so horrible. Big Grandbun passed away. I can't know. Grandbun is still alive too. Big old Grandbun is still alive. Grandbun, Allison's mom and her grandmother surpassed her in life. Did you guys know that Leslie was only 55 years old when she passed away? And Allison, I believe, was only 35. Just think about that too. Think about that, you guys. But I have a whole lot more to bring out. Like I said, I think a lot of people are going to be shocked because they haven't heard any of this before. But a lot of people probably might have. You know, if you do a lot of research and everything, you'd be surprised at what you can find, what you could learn, what you could know. So keep the prayers going up for Summer Moon, Utah Whales. Keep the prayers going up for all of these missing kids. Sebastian, little Michael Vaughn, Jack and Lily. Boy, those are two beautiful children, right? Mind you, little Jack and Jill went up the hill, right? Two beautiful children. They're missing as well. Let us keep the prayers going up that, you know, some of these children are found safe, return home safely. And let's pray, most of all, that wherever they're at, God does let them be found, brought home, and justice served against the evil beings that could do such evil things to little children. Good night, everybody. God bless. Much love.